Desmond here from Performance Destination. If you're looking to have your car tuned, whether it's on the dyno or remote, reach out to us and see what we can do for you. We meet the needs on all computer systems. This video is brought to you by HPT turbochargers, raising the bar in turbocharger performance. HPT turbos are built to hit fast and pull hard. All turbos come with their advanced ceramic dual ball bearing for quick spool and wild throttle response. Stainless steel housings mean lightweight strength, and their cast iron bearing housings with an integrated backplate keeps you running strong under pressure. Every turbo comes with a no BS 2-year warranty, and if you run HPL Superior lubricants, they'll double it to 4 years. Stop chasing boost and own it. Visit hpracebrands.com. Looks nice. Looks really good. 6870?
6870.
Yep, 6870.
Got extras in the toolbox. Yeah? Every time that's on fire, they lose them.
How's cold start? Good?
Yeah. I mean, pretty good. Not like perfect, you know.
Give it no gas. Goodies this thing working with now. Looks nice. You get the new throttle body?
No, I don't follow them. That's the only thing.
Yeah, them S90s is not good. Can't tell you how many times I had a problem with that S90 throttle body. Every single time. Looks good, looks good. How much power are you trying to make?
Let's see, we go 1,000.
1,000?
Yeah. Last time made 800.
Made 800 last time. Yeah.
So let's see.
How much? What fuel system you have for that now? The same?
Yeah. It's a dual pump. It's like 10.
What size pumps?
It's damn.
Well, you have to know that if you try to go to 1,000.
No, but I know. I can't get with it.
Yeah, you gotta know that.
Dual 400s or dual Hellcats? I think it was two 450.
Yeah, 2,450 is gonna be short of 5,000.
I don't remember.
Same pumps you had last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, then it's gonna be short of 1,000. You don't got enough. You should have went with a Weldon regulator versus that little mini regulator.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see. I'll know if I feel like I'll know the rhythm if it's causing issues. Or like that, and you ain't got no sensor on it. So what I will end up doing, if I do feel like there's an issue with that, I'll hook up my tripod and I'll record the fuel pressure and see how it sweeps, or if it sweeps and it's kind of like stagnant, or if it sweeps and it kind of like falls.
Okay, yeah.
Or like that, you know. The Weldon, like that's a mini regulator, so like it has a smaller spring inside of it versus a full size regulator that has a stiffer spring. So how much 1-to-1 for a small spring versus a big size spring is going to be a little different. You know what I'm saying? When we get up to that power range where it needs that fuel demand. Okay. Down low, 800, that ain't really no real power. Like that. So when you get up to that higher power range, it's going to need like fuel flow. So That and the throttle body. It's the only thing I see that you know. But everything else looks good. Got the springs in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything else is good.
With the 24 point something? 1.74? Yeah. Was it black, blue, and yellow? Yeah.
All right, going through some of the settings. Get this all set up and dialed in. We're gonna work the cold start. It's a brand new engine build. Sleeve Evo. Got sleeves in it. It's a nice setup, very beautiful. So we're gonna try to work some of the cold start stuff on this. It's still at 80 something degrees on it. Even though he fired it up, it's still somewhat cold. The needle on the gauge is pegged all the way down, and it's about 80, 85 degrees in the ECU. So I'm gonna still go with it as cold start. Trying to see where we need to be at with this thing. Try to get this a little bit more betterly dialed in and whatnot, and we will see what it makes. The goal is 1,000 horsepower, but I don't know if he has enough pump for that. You know, he has I think dual 450s is what he said. He's not too sure if he really has the Hellcats in here. I would have probably recommended the Hellcats on here, but we'll see. He also has a mini fuel pressure regulator, so we'll see. A lot of those things that I always recommend that you swap out, but we shall see. We'll see where we land today. You know, we're just gonna do our best and do our part. We'll see where we go. All right, made some adjustments. Let's see where we're at. So much faster, so much better. I like that. Way better. Way better. I like that. I like that a lot. So let's, you know, go through all the prompts. I'm gonna calibrate it all. Go through everything on his car, and then we'll see where we stand. And yeah, you know, that cold start was very good. Very good. So we need to probably going to adjust it down so it doesn't idle as high. I don't want to idle as high on initial startup. So we'll see where we land. All right, first one was good. Take two. Much better. Much better. And just like that, got this baby nicely dialed in. It's warming up still. AFRs are perfect. Not fluctuating. Super steady especially for S3 cams. Built engine, big turbo, standalone system. I love that. Looks perfect. So we're going to do a compression test on this motor. Customer never did one before, brand new build. I always recommend doing a compression test before any type of tuning, whether it's dyno or remote. He's looking to make, you know, upwards to 1,000 horsepower. So we want to make sure that everything is healthy on this car. Everything is going to run good. I've seen cars have extremely low compression readings and then still have a decent AFR and it still sounded somewhat healthy. So I don't want to be tricked by what it sounds like. Let's just cover it. Let's go on it. It's a new build, brand new engine. So I asked him, did you do a compression test? He said, no, I never seen it. He said somebody did it somewhere, but he never seen it. He doesn't know for sure if it was really done. So before I start cooking on it and jam on it, to get to 1,000 horsepower, it's going to require a lot of boost, a lot of jam, a lot of power, and we're going to be pushing it. So let's just make sure that it's healthy, it's running good, and just cover all our basics. So we're gonna gap these plugs down. I run on high horsepower cars, a little bit tighter. This way, you know, it's not going to interrupt anything while making a pull. And gapping it tighter doesn't hurt anything at all. Just personal preference. You know, a lot of people ask me what should I gap my plugs to, what should this and that. I always tell people, you know, don't go by what I say, you know. Always go by what your tuner recommends. If your tuner recommends something, don't go by what I say, because that's the person that's going to be tuning your car. So you want to go and listen to every step that person says. People who work with me, you know, I have my own measurement and my own spec I run. Depending on, I have two different specs I run, depending on moderate boost. Moderate boost to me is everything 30 and down. Once we start getting to a spicier boost level, or maybe like 32, 35 and down. But once we get to like above that, so it's a more spicier power level, then I have a different gap for that as well. Just want everything to, you know, look good. Don't want to see any funny business on the logs. Don't want to see any funny business on the graph. Don't want to see any breaking up. Want to pull all the way clean. And when you gap your plugs, you got to make sure when you put it in there, it has a nice strong fitment. And then when you pull out, it has a bite. If you pull your feeler gauge out, and don't use the coin, get yourself a piston ring gapper. And when you pull the feeler gauge out, it should have a bite. You shouldn't be able to put it in. It feels kind of firm, it feels kind of tight, and it slides right out. No. Whenever you gap your stuff, if it doesn't have a bite, it's not gap right. You gotta have a bite. That's how you know it's where it needs to be. So that wasn't a full run. I just wanted to make sure the AFRs is trailering. I did a few test runs earlier just to make sure it's trailering nice. It looked good. Now I had to pull up, like clean up the fuel map a little bit, make a nice transition. I let off, I clutched in so fast, because when this boost started ripping in, like it went in and it just started like digging, it went hard. So I clutched it so I could review the log, make sure everything looks good. Car looks really good. Turbo is still spinning. It's crazy. I turned this car off like 3 minutes ago. Like not 3 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago. And the turbo is still spinning. So I can tell you right now, this thing is definitely gonna, based off of this, how this felt just now in the log just now I read, this thing is really gonna start making some power. Like this is just the first pull. And that wasn't even a full run. So we're gonna see what this thing's gonna do. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 115. 115 seconds. And I think I turned this car off a minute and a half before I got out the car, and it was still spinning. All right, second pull, not bad. Nice little soft tug. That's still soft. When I say soft, I mean soft. I love it when everything works how it needs to be. I told him everything to get on this car. Everything he needed to do for cooling system, turbo system, everything. You know, the only other thing I want him to upgrade is that throttle body and that regulator. But we'll see if that fuel pressure regulator becomes an issue in the future. But so far, this thing is very nice. It'd be nice if I can get this thing to spool a little bit. When the boost comes in, it's gone. But it'd be nice if I can get this thing to start building up a little bit earlier. I just wanted to do everything. He's running a really, really strong gate pressure. Not really strong, but it's a strong gate pressure because this car is only going to be on one fuel and it's only designed to go haul ass. But it's still going to be tame enough for a daily driver, and it's going to be really aggressive to make some jam. So the only thing is about the thermostat, what you got going on, it swings temps. So making a full hit, it goes to 180, well, 176, 183 with that thermostat. Then after I let off, it goes down to 156, 160. But the problem with that is I have to set up the colder enrichments different because your car's, I gotta treat the car like if your full temp is 156 and whatnot, because at 156 and 180s is two different engine temperatures, and then your AFRs is going to be also different because of those two different temperatures right there. So like I see it'll go to like 176, 187 or like that. By the time I let off and let it idle for a little bit, or if I fire it up right now, it'll probably be low 150s, and then that's going to be a different, you know, AFR transition versus when it's in the high 180s. So like I got to treat it a little differently. But it's the temperature stay in control. Like if you're a forward-facing setup, exactly how it should, like temperature-wise. You know, most guys come in here and I be seeing temps in typically a standard temp is 190. Okay. On forward-facing half size, 190, maybe 189. But you're fighting it, like you're fighting the temp really good and what like that. So, and I definitely could tell you have a different fan on there too. Yep. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah. So like I said it, get a different fan, get a different radiator, lower thermostat. That's what I did on my white one. So everything you have in your car is what I had on my white one. And I have a cement block. And when the fan turned on and so you got the higher temp radiator cap too, like temps never got hot. Even with a cement block, it never got hot, you know. And I didn't really do much. Let it idle. I cruised on the dyno a few times, but like I seen guys, their car would be right here, and I even loaded on the dyno, and it's idling, and it's already in the high 190s, 201. So I'm like, bro, your car's really hot, and we didn't even get on it yet. So it's doing good. So let's see what it made. Let's turn this car off real quick so we can hear everything. So the car is making some power now. The goal is 1,000 and we're almost there. This is a 6870 from HPT. The spool on this thing is crazy. It comes on when the boost hits, it comes on pretty damn violent. I'm not gonna lie, it's hidden. You know, this is a good turbo. You know, I'm curious to see what the 6466 does, if this is what the 6870 is doing. So the goal is only 1,000, you know, and we're like almost there. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little boost on there, and then and then I'm going to you know, turn it up and go higher in the RPM range and see what we make today. But it's right on par, you know, for power level versus boost level. And that was right up in the 40s for that. But it's looking good. Logs look good. Temperatures under control. Even the intake temps is nice. I don't even see nothing's even hot. Like even the intercooler piping, nothing's hot. Nothing's hot. Like the temps are really, really good. So temps is really, really good. I like it. Looks good. How'd that make you feel?
Happy, bro. Perfect.
I saw everybody jumping in the back. I was like, oh shit, what the hell happened back there? I felt it. It squatted a little bit harder. I felt it, and the whole dyno was just fucking just. I was like, bro, this thing is shaking. But it felt good. I'm gonna make another. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit.
Yeah.
I gotta make another run, trying to clean up a little bit. Okay. And yeah, I don't know. Same settings. All I wiggled that connector, and I did the boost leak test, and shit came back up. So I don't know. All right, so that last pull we just did, we was running into some boost control issues where I made a run and the power was dropping, boost was dropping. I didn't know what was going on with that. I wiggled a couple of the wires for the solenoid. We did a boost leak test. Boost leak test came back good. You know, and all of a sudden I was like, you know what, let's just make another run. Let's replica to see if it does the same thing over again. And it did good. I made 1,009, 740 foot-pounds of torque. Power band is very nice. I'm gonna get back in there and play with it a little bit better to see if I can, you know, maybe if I can shape it out a hair better and see if I can make it look a little bit better on the graph and the curve. The goal is only 1,000. I'm not trying to make more power, but I just want to, you know, we'll see what we can do. See if we can make more. Not make more, but like kind of make sure it kind of carries out a little bit stronger up top. Anything past 7,200, I'm gonna try to make sure I'm trying to get it to plateau a little bit flatter and see. That's the main thing. Power is there, but now for me, I want to get the power band the plateau and see what I can do with that. And I think we'll be good. You know, car makes power. Car's spooling nice. Car comes alive nicely. You know, and it's just it sounds amazing. It hits hard, and we're gonna see what we could do real quick, and you know, then we'll go out for a street drive and see what that looks like. Looks good, looks good. Looks real good. Look at that. That's a nice burn. All the shiny coating is off. It's not the plug is not running hot. It looks very nice. Very, very nice. With power today. And it's very nice. So like what you want on these things, what you want before the plug comes shiny all the way around. Yeah. You want to burn all the shininess off the strap and all the way around it. And then you don't want it to get like I could tell by this plug it's still soft. So like I would have got a little bit darker color, and then if it gets too dark going all the way down, that means there's too much temp. There's too much temp.
Okay.
It's getting too hot in the cylinders. But by the strap on this, it looks good. You know.
Okay.
It looks good. No pixelation, no nothing. Just a good burn. I'll show it to you boys. All loaded up to head home. It's probably one of my favorite Blue Evos, for sure. It's crazy how much power you can make as a street car. And it's not that big of a turbo. Makes some good power. This car has AC?
Yeah.
I turned it on. I don't know if it was blowing.
Because I don't got the film.
Oh, okay. I turned it on. I'm like, it's not blowing as cold, but
No.
I was trying to make sure the AC on and off was working, so like that. Good.
Yeah, no, but it got a little leak. That's why.
Okay.
It's leaking from the evap.
It was blowing, but
Evaporator valve.
decent, but not like cold.
Exactly.
But I was like, okay, I don't know if it's working, but it'll be nice,
It's
bro.
got a small leak.
Once you have AC with this shit,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, driving around this power level,
Like 2 weeks ago, I was cruising around with the AC. That's just
cold,
nice.
Yeah.
Cold. Really
Yeah.
cold.
Nice. Beautiful little car. Beautiful little car. All right, heading back. Good little session. Car did good. Very powerful little car. You know, that 6870 was cooking. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That thing was on a mission. Very happy for him. He made the goal. He made the power goals he wanted. Car has great drivability, and he's heading back home. Gotta be a beast in the street, hands down. Welcome back with another session, another car, another build, new turbo, new combination. This is our first time testing one of these HPT 6870s. This car performed phenomenally. You know, originally I told him what turbo to go with. He's a forward-facing setup that was also fighting heat, like the heat control. Car always ran to the ragged edge of being too hot, and now the cooling system is good. I told him exactly the certain parts of how to go about for the cooling system. Car never went over 187 forward-facing, making all the pulls today in his hot shop. His goal today was 1,000 horsepower. He's like, I don't care how we do it. I just want to get 1,000. That's his goal. I told him, you know, depending if you have enough fuel demand, because he didn't know what fuel pumps he had in there. He had enough injector. You know, he had 2 sets of FIC injectors, 2 for dual 2150s, and for a total of 8. And sure enough, you know, by like the 4th-ish run, it did about 1,000. I think it was like 1,006. And then I wanted to go back in there and kind of clean it up some more and get it right. This car started jamming. You know, started jamming. Car started spooling harder. This turbo spools so fast and so aggressive. It's insane. You know, we didn't get out in the data, power-wise, log-wise, but also wanted to test it out in real-life conditions. Well, I'm glad we did it on the dyno. This car ran phenomenal. Power band, phenomenal. Spool, phenomenal. Heat control, phenomenal. The logs look good. The spark plugs look perfect. Everything was phenomenal. It's still healthy. Compression is healthy. Spark plugs look good. Everything was fine. But this car ran great. You know, we just finished it today at 1,031 and 744 foot-pounds of torque. Initially, I wanted to, you know, if that didn't happen where I had a little more time invested into it, I really wanted to spool the down low area to come on a little bit harder, you know, to kind of pick up a little bit harder, a little bit sooner. You know, he didn't really have a goal in mind, you know, so as long as I reached the target of what he wanted and everything else in between, you know, he let me, you know, do what I want, do what I needed to do, so the car feels safe and strong. And I wanted to spool a bit harder. It definitely can spool a bit harder. Just didn't have enough time in the day to kind of go through all that. But I think he's gonna enjoy this. I think it's gonna feel wicked. His last setup made about 800 horsepower, and he was about that at foot-pounds of torque now. So this one over 1,000, it's really good. You know, these 6870s from all of them, you know, they all shine. They all run good. They all pull strong. They all make jam. It just depends on the turbo size for the application of what you're going to be doing. If you're a street car, street and strip car, or drag car, all depends on what you want to be, the power level you want to be at. You know, even for my personal car, we're going to go with a 6870 as well. And you know, just so I can make the power. I'm all about making the power on less boost. If I run a smaller turbo to make these numbers, it requires a whole bunch of boosts to make that. Now, on a properly sized turbo and everything else is working efficient, I don't have to get so insane on the boost control strategy just to make some number, just to make some power out of it, you know? It'll make it with ease, but the offset of that will be more of the lag because of us a bigger frame turbo. But I told him to go V-band on this because I knew the V-band would spool hard and it will spool a little bit faster than I feel like a regular standard divided flange. But he's happy with it, I'm happy with it. You know, all his buddies that came, they're happy with it. You know, it's just been a great time. You know, this car is on a standalone ECU, AEM, double pumper. He did have a mini regulator, and I did want to, because a couple runs, his AFR started running away a little bit, and I wanted to review and see what was going on the fuel pressure side. I don't think it was kind of holding where it needs to. I think it's started to start showing signs of the regulator or pump, you know, but right at that, session was ended short, and you know, we're just going to revisit that. I think he wants to upgrade the regulator from the mini regulator he had to, he wants to upgrade it to a full-size Weldon regulator. The Weldon regulators is what I recommend. Anything that's trying to be 850 and north, even to this or north, you know, the Weldon, it will make the fuel pressure without even skipping a beat. I've never had a problem on a Weldon, never had an issue on fuel pressure when those are being used on high horsepower builds, but I'm happy where it's at. Power band is nice and clean, nice and linear. The torque comes on, it's nice and flat, plateaus. Horsepower comes on, plateaus, then shift the red line, and you know, this is gonna feel great. It's on a dog box transmission, so I could have got more spicier with this, you know. Very few people, when I mean very few people, is a very handful of people have figured out how to do the rolling anti-lag on the V2 computer. I have cracked that. I have learned how to do and custom strategize how to do rolling anti-lag on V2, and where the car can be rolling, I engage it full throttle on the gas pedal, and it will build up the boost. Last car I did, it probably built up to like 20 pounds or 22 pounds. Let off the button, slingshot effect. On a bigger frame like this, that probably be the best thing for him if it's a street car. It will light up the turbo a lot faster, and then when he let off, it will dip out, and it's a big frame turbo, so it's gonna back end like crazy. But you know, it's more things we're gonna set up in the future, things he wants to do for that, and just overall, it's been a great day. You know, I'm so happy to do this for all my customers, whether it's in person, travel, or remote tune. I'm so happy for everybody who works with me. It's my honor to work for you. If you too would like to work with us, whether it's dyno, remote, or travel service, or we could come out there to your state and tune a few of your buddies. Y'all want to get tuned on the dyno at the track, street, whether it's in-state, whether it's in the Caribbean, wherever, then reach out to me at 941-268-7493, or reach me on all platforms of social media at Performance Destination. Please like, subscribe, drop a comment below. Tell us how you like it. Tell us how you like how we explain certain things, and tell us what we can do better to make it a little bit more interesting for you. Till next time, guys.